Hi, my name is James Phillips. Welcome. What we're going to talk about today is some new things that are happening in the military. It's happening in all the services, and I'm going to specifically kind of talk about what I know about what's happening in the Army, but this is going to apply to all four services. I've been practicing military law now for 23 years, and this is a huge change that happened. So back about a year ago, there was a new National Defense Authorization Act. And in that act, basically they changed the way that they are dealing with crimes in the military. So if you now go through an investigation, and we've got another video that talks about titling and all that, but if you go through an investigation and it's considered a major crime, this is no longer handled by your military command. This is what we've all been used to before December 28th of last year, December 28th of 2023. What used to happen is your command and the legal team associated with your command, they would follow that case throughout, and then they eventually would have a commander recommendation, usually at a 2-star level, that would basically control what happens with your case. That is not the case anymore. Now they have something called the Office of the Special Trial Counsel. We refer to it as OSTIC. This is something that's held all the way up to the DC level and is basically an overall national look or an international look in the military of each individual kind of crime that they consider a major crime. So in other words, what's going to happen is your investigation in your case, if it's considered a major crime, is going to be reviewed by OSTIC. They're going to be lawyers, generally even from the lieutenant colonel and above level, and eventually approved through a 2-star. The main place that this is changing things is OSTIC is going to be the office that if you are preferred to a court-martial, they're the ones that are going to guide the entire case. And so during the court-martial process, where we used to just be up against a brigade-level command or we'd be up against a division-level command, we are now going to be up against professional attorneys that do this all the time. And their job and what they're trying to do is convict you. And most of what they're looking for is things that are related to major crimes. The major thing that they're looking at, obviously, is sexual assault, abusive sexual contact. Anything with the word sex in it is going to be controlled by OSTIC. And then also, if you have other things, say like a murder or high-level crimes, they're going to be running that also. So this changes everything. And I'm going to do later series that talks about other changes in the law. But one of the things you need to realize is that where we used to be dependent on getting our information from a command, where your cases were taking a certain amount of time and we were able to have more control as far as the Civilian Defense Council and Trial Defense Services, now that's out the window. We're in a new system and it's much more conviction oriented. And one of the things that they're also trying to do is raise the overall punishments in this kind of case. So the other things that go along with this, which are pretty important, is this is a alleged victim-driven kind of investigation, or it's an alleged victim that drives the court-martial. In other words, if you're going to try to get a deal or you're going to try to work to get the case dismissed, whatever it means that for you in your particular case, this is all going to be driven by communications between the OSTIC and the alleged victim, or we call AV. And that communication is going to probably be the biggest controlling factor as to what the outcome of your case is going to be. And I'm not trying to suggest that you talk to the AV or you do something individually, but it means early on, it's much more important to have, if you're going to hire a civilian counsel, it's much more important to have your civilian counsel or to bring trial defense services on. And one of the problems with these OSTIC cases is during the course of the investigation, while this is in CID, OSI, NCIS, when these investigating law enforcement organizations are looking into your case, if you go through trial defense services, normally you're not going to get help. So usually what happens with the trial defense services is they wait until the crime is preferred and you're going to lose a lot of time waiting for to be able to talk about your case with anybody. And if you were to have a civilian defense counsel, like in my case out at Fort Campbell, I talked to a major out here that's part of OSTIC, and we talk through all the time what is going on with the various different cases. We're able to get updates. And unfortunately, if you're using TDS or you're using one of the other services, ADCs through the Air Force and through the Navy and Marines, not going to get those kind of updates that you need to know what's going on and be able to prepare for your case. Now, we're going to get a lot more into this, the different do's and don'ts of dealing with OSTIC. That's coming up in some other videos that we're going to have, and even a course that we're going to do here later on this year. But you have to know that the system has changed. Things that you expected or heard from people even a year ago, that's all out the window. We're under a new series of laws, and we're under a new way of looking at this. So give us a call, 931-217-7648 if you want to talk about this. You can also email me at jphillipslaw22@gmail.com. Look forward to working with you, but the game has changed, and you really need civilian defense counsel these days. Thank you.